Are you ready? Are you ready for the thrill of victory? Are you ready to taste victory? Are you ready to take your sports betting to a whole new level? Sit up, put your feet on the floor, because we have work to do. Welcome to the grind. Welcome to Cappers Nation, your weekly all things sports betting show. Tune in live every Thursday at 8 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Let us make you a more successful sports bettor.
Welcome to Cappers Nation, your weekly all things sports gambling show. I am your host, Kyle Johnson, coming to you live from our studios in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. Guys, we got a great show planned for everybody today. Welcome. Today is Thursday, the 20th of September. Thursday night football. We got NFL. We got college football, Major League Baseball. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the show. I see a bunch of you guys are already on. And we're going to give everybody just a few more minutes to jump on board. And then we're going to jump right in. How's the... Everybody says they can't hear me. Is my mic on? Nobody can hear me now. What's going on, guys? How about now? Are you guys able to hear me now? Hopefully you guys can hear me now. How's the volume now, everybody? Anybody on a volume check? It's low. Are you able to turn it up and hear it? Or how about that? Is that any better? All right, guys, give me one more second. Let me try something else on this. All right, how about that, guys? Welcome to Cappers Nation. I'm assuming you guys can hear me a lot better now. We good now? Good to go, everybody? Everybody better now? All right, good. All right. I guess it helps if I turn the microphone on. All right, let's give everybody just a minute. We just sent out a text message just a couple minutes ago, letting everybody be notified that we are going live. Yeah, David, the A's pick was just a little bit too close for comfort. All right. If you guys got a text message, please do post in the comments that you got a text. If you got an email, post in the comments that you got an email, just so we can keep track and see where everybody's getting notified from. We certainly do appreciate it. Give things here just another minute. We're getting ready to get rolling. Haha, I do like it with those runs. They definitely will beat the Browns tonight. Dave Maving, thank you. I appreciate it, bud. Thanks for letting me know. Brian, thank you. Jason, thank you, everybody, for letting me know. We got a great program in store. We got a free play for everybody in the NFL that starts in just 12 minutes. While I wait for a few people to jump on board, we're going to, I'm going to give you guys that free play right now. That way you guys have it. That way, thank you, Brian. I appreciate that. Let me get you guys on that free play in the NFL. And then, give me 1 second here, guys. Alrighty, let's see. Give it just another minute here. Going to post the link, the live video on our website while we're doing this, while we're waiting for some people to jump on, and then we're going to get rolling. But first, guys, I'm going to give you guys a free play. You're welcome, CMO. You're very, very welcome. I'm going to give you guys a free play in the NFL just because it starts in 10 minutes. And then I will break down that game once we get into the program. But I don't want you to miss it because we are running just a few minutes behind. But your free play in the NFL, guys, and I know a lot of you guys are riding with the public and riding the wrong side, but our free play in the NFL tonight is the Jets plus 3.5. I'm sure that's going to make some of you unhappy to hear. And very, very shortly I'm going to break down that game for you once we get rolling here. But the Jets plus 3.5 starts in just 10 minutes. I wanted you guys to be able to have ample time to bet it because I know the way that we're rolling right now and running behind on everything, you won't have a chance. So how's everybody's day going? Hey, what's the update on that score of that college football game? How's that going? All right, guys. Hopefully, get everything rolling here. Seven into the first. Nice. Who scored first, guys? All right. We should be up and running here shortly. I'm just now posting the link on the website. I was delayed doing that. And been one hell of a day running all over town, that's for sure. Alrighty. Let's get this show on the road. People show up, they show up. If they don't, they don't. We've been waiting too long, so let's get this show. Welcome to Cappers Nation, your weekly all things sports gambling show. I am your host, Kyle Johnson, coming to you live from our set here in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. Today is September 20th, Thursday night football, guys. It's going to be a great night. Now, we did just give out a free play to everybody that tuned in live. If you missed it, here you go. We took the Jets plus 3.5. It is one of our plays today, and you know what? It should be a winner. So, there's a free play for everybody to get you guys all started. That game starts in just 6 minutes. And while we wait for other people to jump on, we're going to get rolling in this program. Today, guys, we've got a great show on tap. We're going to be breaking down Major League Baseball, the playoff races, who's in, who's out, and who's close, and who's fighting. All right, guys, we've got college football. We got the NFL. We got free plays. We're going to be breaking down games in college football, the NFL for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, including a bunch of free leans as well as free plays for you guys. Now, remember, we do go live on the weekends every Saturday and Sunday to break down college football on Saturdays, the NFL on Sundays. We go live at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. It is really bright and early here on the West Coast. For all our West Coast viewers and myself being in Las Vegas, it is bright and early. I'm cranky that early in the morning, but it's some of our best programs. 2 hours, action-packed, free leans, game day breakdowns, and everything that you need to know to be a more successful sports bettor. I do thank you guys for tuning in, our loyal viewers. It is going to be a hell of a day today. We got NFL getting ready to start in just 5 minutes. College football going off, as everybody just said. Game is tied 7-7. End of the first quarter between Tulsa and Temple. And today at Cappers Direct, guys, we already started out the day on a great note. We gave out the Oakland A's minus $1.30 on the money line as our first consensus play of the day. The last time I checked, they were winning 12-1. So I don't know what the final score was, but I'm sure it was a winner. I'm sure somebody will post it in the comments for me to see. But I'm pretty sure we started out our consensus plays on the winning foot. We've got 3 more to go. I just gave you guys the Jets plus 3.5, as well as we did give you guys a free play on that football game in our video last night. We gave out Temple -7. Believe it or not, that is actually one of our premium plays. All right, guys, that is one of our 3 premium plays of the day. It was not a small consensus play. It was one of our bigger premium plays, the biggest games that we offer, and hopefully Temple pulls through. I've got a good feeling they will. Appears that their second goal, looking like they're going to score. Holy smokes, the A's won 21-3. Thank you, Lamont and David, for pointing that out. I love to hear that. I love to hear that, and that's why somebody said earlier the score of the A's, they could have beat the Cleveland Browns tonight, and, I think that Browns game is going to surprise a lot of people, and there's going to be a bunch of scoring in that game. I do believe it. I know both teams have their trouble. Sam Darnold, he did show signs of improvement, even though he struggled to get in the end zone the first 2 weeks. He's putting the ball up in the air, and he's connecting with receivers, and he's pretty accurate too. Same thing with Tyrod Taylor. He's had his moments of goodness. I wouldn't say greatness, but goodness. But we'll start breaking down that game here in just a bit, as well as, on tap here at Cappers Direct. We had 3 premium plays today. The first one was in Major League Baseball. We gave out the Tampa Bay Rays minus $1.30 on the money line. They were down 2-0 early. I do see that they are back tied 2-2. Toronto's got a runner on first with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. So hopefully Tampa Bay knocks in some more runs and puts another win in the win column for us and all of our premium play clients. Then we had Temple -7 as a big premium play for all of our premium play clients. We actually gave that one away free in our daily video as well. So, and then we've got the over in the Jets and Cleveland game. And then as far as consensus plays go, obviously we had the winner, like they just pointed out, 21-3, the Oakland A's at home against the LA Angels. And second one that we have on tap was the New York Mets and the Washington Nationals over 8 runs. End of the 4th right now. Mets are leading 3-0, and hopefully that game goes over as well. And then another consensus play that we gave out was the over 53.5 in the college football game. 21 points so far. Looking good as long as they keep scoring, and hopefully it's Temple that keeps scoring. And then, of course, the Jets plus 3.5. Jets today. Sam Darnold. I promise you we did not take that one just because I'm a Sam Darnold fan. All right? I promise you we did not take that just because I'm a Sam Darnold fan. So, with that being said, we need to talk a little bit of business here, and then we're going to get going. But first, we're going to talk a little bit about what we're doing over at Cappers Direct and what we got going on this week. We're still running it. We're running it for the rest of the week. It is our new client special. If you have never been with us, if you've never bet our premium plays or our system plays, here's your opportunity to start banging your book and really hammer them. And we're giving you guys a great deal. You get 1 week of our premium plays, 1 week of our system plays. Normally $1,000 a week for our premium plays, $600 a week for our system plays. We're giving it to you guys for just $299. All right, guys, you guys get that special for $299. The only way to get that is you have to call into the office. You have to call the 888-561-8923 number. You have to ask for myself, Kyle, and I will hook you up and get you on both of those. All right? Now, we also have our system plays on sale this week. The special is actually not on the website. It will be on the website later tonight. Our IT department will post that on the website. If I knew how to do it myself, I would do it for you guys. But unfortunately, me and IT work just don't go hand in hand. So you're going to be able to get premium plays for the week. 1 full week of our premium plays for just $199 to try them out, guys. There's not much time left between the regular season and the playoffs. We're 72-3. Guys, our system plays are 72-3. And hopefully we're able to cash in on a couple more today that we got going. We got some that started today. We've got 3 system plays that are going right now. We've got some more starting tomorrow on Friday. But if you guys want to try out our system plays, there's no better time than right now. All right, we've knocked out 22 straight, and we're going to keep that number going. All right, but you can try them for the week, $199 for a week. They're normally $600, or you can get a whole month, which will basically cover you almost through the end of the World Series for $749. All right, guys. And matter of fact, if you guys do that today or tomorrow, or actually by the end of the week, if you guys purchase 1 month of our system plays, I will give you the rest of the World Series, the playoffs in the World Series, absolutely free. All right, guys. All right, guys. Those sales will end on Sunday at midnight. And remember, Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific, we will be live breaking down everything college football. All right, as well as Sunday, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific, we'll be breaking everything down in the NFL and making you a more successful sports bettor. All right, guys. So make sure you guys tune in live over the weekend. They will be great programs. All right, now let's jump right into this NFL game. We just gave you guys the Jets plus 3.5 as a nice free consensus play. Now, this is what I was hoping to do about 20 minutes ago, but unfortunately we're running late, so let's start breaking down the game, all right? Jets versus the Browns in Cleveland, Ohio at First Energy Stadium. Game is getting ready to kick off, game 301 and 302 for betting purposes. Line on that game opened up at 3.5, favoring the Cleveland Browns, where that line sat pretty much for the whole week. This morning I seen it down to -3, but they had it at minus $1.20, and then it went back to minus 3.5, favoring the Browns. And for the most part, it's at -3, minus $1.20. The Westgate's got it at -3, minus $1.35. They're afraid to give that extra half a point to the Jets, which I don't blame them today. All right, Cleveland. Let's see here. All right. The Jets are 1-1 straight up, 1-1 against the spread. The Browns are 0-1-1 and 2-0 against the spread, and they could be they very, very easily be 2-0 straight up to start the year if they actually had a decent kicker. Some top team trends going on in that game. The Jets are 6-0-1 against the spread their last 7 games on the road against poor teams with a winning percentage of less than 20%. Yes, Lamont, I will be live Saturday and Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Saturday and Sunday, every Saturday and Sunday, 9 a.m. Eastern Time, we break down college football and the NFL, and thank you, Brian, for pointing that out. Back to the top team trends between the Jets and the Browns. Cleveland is 12-36-2 against the spread, dating back their last 50 games against fortunate teams with a turnover differential of better than plus 0.3 turnovers per game. All right, Cleveland is just 10-0 on the under their last 10 games at home when they're facing an opponent after a straight-up loss. All right, 10-0 on the under after facing an opponent of a straight-up who had a straight-up loss. Now, head-to-head trends. The favorites are 9-1 straight up and against the spread in the last 10 games between the Jets and the Browns in their head-to-head series. So the favorites have covered 9 out of the last 10 times. However, I don't believe that's going to be the trend today. All right, guys, I don't believe that's going to be the trend today, and we'll get into that here in a little bit. Now, I do anticipate a fun program today. I do anticipate some rowdy comments from the viewers and the crowds. We've been getting a lot of trolls the last couple weeks, so I do expect some of that today, and we'll deal with it as it comes in. All right, guys. Now, head-to-head matchup last year, October 8th, 2017. The Jets, same scenario, went to Cleveland. Beat Cleveland, beat the Browns, 17-14. All right, 17-14 the year prior than that, end of October in 2016. The Jets again got the best of Cleveland, winning 31-28. So the last 2 matchups have all been decided by 3 points, with the Jets winning outright. All right, the road teams have won their last 2 meetings. However, the favorite has won the last 2 times. But The Jets were favored last year and the year before, but they are not this year. They are getting points. I personally think the Jets are the better team. They are the well-rounded team. However, we're going to find out soon. Well, JSN, I don't like Cleveland. You got it, Lamont. We'll chat with you later. Thanks for tuning in so far. All right, guys. Rookie Sam Darnold suffered his first career loss last week, losing to Miami 20-12. The last time the Browns actually won a game, Sam Darnold was a sophomore at USC. No doubt Cleveland is a much improved team this season, and they could easily be 2-0, as I said earlier, if it wasn't for poor kicking. All right, the Browns winless. The Browns are winless in their last 19 games, and they sit a 3.5-point favorite entering tonight. The Cleveland defense, they're going to do their best to keep the deep game in check against Sam Darnold and keep it close just like they did the last two times the Jets came to town. Like I said earlier, the last 2 years the Jets came to town. The Jets traveled to Cleveland, and they won by 3 points exactly in both games. Tyrod Taylor, he's had his moments of goodness. I won't say it's greatness because it's just not greatness, all right? In both of his first two games, he's shown sign of promise towards the end of their first game of the year, as well as last week. The Browns shipped Josh Gordon to New England, or got rid of him anyways. The Cleveland run game with Carlos Hyde and Duke Johnson is going to be extremely important to keeping the blitz happy defense of the Jets at bay. Kyle, do I ever watch the games? Is a question. Absolutely, I do. Unfortunately, Cappers Nation live is every Thursday at 5 o'clock my time. So right in the middle of game day, I am here live with you guys. So unfortunately, I don't get to watch the game until the program's over. So I do have a bunch of TVs hanging on the wall in my office, and all day Saturday and Sunday when I'm working, I'm watching. No, JSN, I'm not watching the game right now. We do not have... Actually, we do have a TV in the studio. Maybe we should put the game on there. But then I won't be talking and reading. I'll be watching and seeing what's going on and rooting on the Jets and whatnot and whatever. And we won't get anything productive done. So, no, I think the ADD will kick in and I won't be able to watch the game live while filming the live show. So, we'll leave it at that, and then... but I will watch the games when I'm done. I try not to watch the games, but I do. You know, it is what it is. Adds the added stress value, and, you know, once you make a bet, it's over and done with, and there's nothing you can do about it other than hope you picked correctly and hope you did your homework. So, you know, sometimes I watch, if I got games to pick and choose from, I'll end up watching games that we didn't bet on, you know, on like game day Saturday. That's what I prefer anyways. Brian, absolutely not. No preseason. No preseason. We don't bet the preseason. Hey, Glenn, it's all right, buddy. Glenn, not a problem. All right, guys, if the game between the Jets and the Browns comes down to the special teams, the Jets definitely have the advantage hands down when it comes to special teams. And as noted earlier, I did give you guys a free play on the Jets plus 3.5. And we're going to continue our Major League Baseball segment a little bit farther in the program. That was something I tried to get done before the game actually started. Unfortunately, here we are. But we'll jump back in the NFL here shortly. We're going to jump right into Major League Baseball, run through that, and then get you guys into some college football. Great to hear you bet on some on the Florida Panthers and made some easy money. How about that Detroit Tigers game? 9-5, bottom of the third, 14 runs total so far. The bats are cracking in Major League Baseball today. Who's hot, who's not, who should you be betting on, and who should you be fading? All right, guys, we're about to give you guys some valuable insight and a few tips today that should help you be a more successful sports bettor. If you tuned into last week's program, then we were profitable yet again. Not by much in our fade list, but it was on the profitable side. Going 28-25, not the best of record for our fade list, but it kept us in the green, as well as bringing our 6-week fade total to 153 wins and 91 losses on our side. All right, guys. Last week we said to fade Baltimore, the Royals, the Padres, the Tigers, the Marlins, the Pirates, the Mets, and the Mariners. The Mariners and the Pirates were the only ones burning us, going 5-1 and 5-2 respectively. Baltimore went 3-4. We made a little cheese there. The Royals went 3-4, made just a little bit of cheese there. The Padres went 2-4. We made some decent money there. Same thing with the Tigers going 2-4, as well as the Marlins going 2-4, and then the Mets went 3-4. So overall 153-91, and over the last 6 weeks. So if you're watching our fade list, if you're paying attention to our fade list, you should be making money. Alrighty, guys. Now, what we're going to do is jump right into our Major League Baseball playoff race, and we're going to see what's going on in baseball as if it was going to end today. All right, in the AL East, leading the AL East in first, obviously, is the Boston Red Sox, who can clinch the division with a win in Yankee Stadium tonight. And as I check right now, it's bottom of the third. It's very, very early, but they are winning 4-2. Hopefully the Yankees pull it off, clinch the division, and do it right in front of all the Yankee fans. I'd find nothing better than that, as the Red Sox is one of our plays. All right, guys. How's the feed and the volume over there for everybody? Feed and the volume fine, because it's a little spotty on my end. All right, good. Good to know it's good. We're going to continue on. I do think that we're going to be missing some viewers today just for the fact that, one, we're not broadcasting it. For some reason, it was supposed to broadcast on all the networks and the channels, websites that we broadcast on. And unfortunately, they did not send out the link, and it did not get put on those. So it's okay. Hopefully, some more people start joining in. I'm sure both with the college football game and the NFL game starting, most people will be stuck to their televisions watching both of those games. But I'm sure as they start losing, they'll start searching. Whoever they bet on and whatever the way the games are going, I'm sure they're going to start searching and looking for a way to make up their money and hopefully tune into our program. But in first, in the AL East, Boston Red Sox, as of right now, before today's game, with a record of 103 wins and 49 losses. The New York Yankees sitting 9.5 games back. The AL Central, Cleveland wrapped it up, clinched their division with a record of 85 wins and 66 losses. And in the AL West, the Houston Astros are in first with a record of 95 and 57. The Oakland A's sit just 3.5 games back. Seattle is 11 games back. And then in the American League playoff race overall, all right, as of right now, the Red Sox are in. They've clinched a playoff spot. All right, and if they win today, they clinch the divisions. David's watching the Reds, the Indians, the Temple, and the Jets all at once. That's what I'm talking about. If the season was to end today, the Astros are also in. And the Cleveland Indians are automatically in because they clinched their division. Sitting in a wild card spot, the New York Yankees, with a 2.5 game lead over the Oakland A's, who filled the wild card spot, the last wild card spot, as of right now. Tampa Bay is sitting 5.5 games back, sitting out of a wild card spot, looking in. And then Seattle 7 games back, looking in. All right. Now, wrapping up the National League division, the NL East, a race that can be clinched very shortly. The Atlanta Braves sitting in first with a record of 84-68. They just started a 4-game series against the Philadelphia Phillies, who happen to be sitting 5.5 games back. And if they win that series, most doubtedly they will clinch their division as well. As I look right now, Atlanta is leading top of the third 2-1. And Washington is also 7 games back in the NL East. Brian, I don't know if it was pass interference because, unfortunately, I don't have the game on in here. I'm going to have to change that here. Now, in the NL Central, the Chicago Cubs are in first with a record of 89 wins and 63 losses. The Milwaukee Brewers sit 2.5 games back, as well as the St. Louis Cardinals sit 5.5 games back as well. In the NL West, the hot, contested National League West Division, the Los Angeles Dodgers, who started at the bottom, and now they're here, sit at the top with a record of 85 wins and 68 losses after single-handedly knocking the Rockies out of first place in the NL West. All right, Colorado Rockies are sitting 2.5 games back in the division, who are still, out of their entire franchise history, chasing a division title. The Diamondbacks are 6 games back, and you know what? It's just not looking good for the Diamondbacks to make the playoffs or wild card spot this year. If the baseball was to end today, if the regular season was to end right now, the Chicago Cubs are in, the Dodgers are in, and the Atlanta Braves are in. Sitting in a wild card spot is the Milwaukee Brewers, with a 3-game lead over the second wild card team, the St. Louis Cardinals. Just 1.5 games back from the Cardinals would be the Colorado Rockies. And right back from there is the Philadelphia Phillies, 5 games back, as well as Arizona, 5 games back from a wild card spot. And then the Pittsburgh Pirates are 6 games back from a wild card spot. And then the Washington Nationals are just 6.5 games back. Brian just asked, will the books hang a line on where Harper goes? I'm sure an offshore book will. Maybe this Superbook will. The Westgate, possible. They do throw up a lot of crazy lines. William Hill might. CG Technologies might. You never know. Might be a popular one to bet. The teams we like to fade. Our fade list for today, for this next week. Alrighty. Sorry, I was reading something. Alright, let's get our fade list rolling. The teams we like to fade this next week are the Baltimore Orioles, the Kansas City Royals, the Detroit Tigers, the Toronto Blue Jays, the LA Angels against Oakland and Houston only, the Texas Rangers against Seattle and the LA Angels, the San Francisco Giants against the St. Louis Cardinals, and the San Diego Padres against the LA Dodgers. A fade is when we're betting against a team. Somebody just asked, what is a fade? A fade is when we're betting against a certain team. And our fade list has an impeccable record dating back the last 6 weeks. We are 153-91 on our fade list. Baltimore, Kansas City, Detroit, Toronto, the LA Angels, the Texas Rangers, the San Francisco Giants, and the Padres. Let me put those in the comments. Give me 1 second, guys. We'll put this in the comments here. All right, so we just posted the fade list for everybody. Absolutely, as David pointed out, if you're not sure who's going to be playing and who's not, as far as minor league players getting a chance up in the big leagues, betting Major League Baseball the last week, week and a half can be very, very, very deadly to your bankroll. So make sure you're betting with people that know what they're doing. Now, moving forward, somebody give me a Tulsa and Temple update, please. While I get everything moving forward here. We do have a free play for everybody for tomorrow in Major League Baseball between the Chicago Cubs and the Chicago White Sox. Free play, the Cubs on the money line. I've seen it minus $1.50 so far. I expect it to go up, and I expect it to be higher. That's for tomorrow, for Friday. The Cubs, minus $1.50. Thank you, everybody, for that update, 14-7. Hopefully Temple starts scoring some more. All right, Tampa Bay just took the lead, 3-2, with runners on first and second. 1 out and top of the sixth, and hopefully Tampa pulls away and knocks in some more runs, because that is our first big premium play of the day. And with that, coming up very, very shortly, we've got information about BetterX. After dunking off 100K on the Houston Texans last week, he is back at it again. BetterX is back at it again, guys, and we're going to go over that here shortly. As well as we got information coming up on some major breaking news about the FanDuel Sportsbook at the Meadowlands Racetrack, about them denying a bet of a winning ticket of over $82,000. And our Real Talk segment. And then we're going to jump into college football and then the NFL. But first, enjoy this short 40-second break. All right, we are back. Jumping right into some real talk. Now, if you guys paid attention to ESPN or watch any other information or on Twitter, if you follow me on Twitter at CapNationKyle, I've been posting about this for a while now. Monday Night Football, Raiders and the Broncos. A bettor by the name of Anthony Prince, who identified himself to the FanDuel Sportsbook at the Meadowlands Racetrack in New Jersey, walked up to the window late in the game. In-game wagering, there was an option to bet on the Broncos to win outright while they were losing 19-7 at plus 750 to 1. That lasted 18 seconds. The line was live for 18 seconds. Mr. Anthony Prince walked up to the window and he placed a bet for $110 to win over $82,000. And not one person at that window questioned that bet, asked for approval of that bet. They took Mr. Prince's money happily, handed him a ticket, as well as numerous other tickets that they had, and they let Mr. Prince go on his way. $110 to win over $82,000 plus whatever it was, $750,000 or whatever it was, 750 to 1, guys. Well, Denver won the game. Field goal later, Denver wins. And they refused to pay him. They said it was that line was made in error, and they didn't have to pay him. But instead, they offered him $500 and three sets of tickets to New York Giants home games. Mr. Prince refused, lawyered up, and said he was going to sue and contact the New Jersey Gaming Control Board. Have any of you guys heard of this story so far? It's actually been going down today, basically every day. And good and bad. My take on it is we as bettors, when we go to the sports book and we bet our tickets or we bet our games, they give us our ticket. It's our responsibility to look at that ticket before we leave the window to make sure that if you want to take the Jets plus 3.5, that your ticket says the Jets plus 3.5. I had a live video, or I posted a video a couple weeks ago. I showed it live over the weekend where I was betting, and I wanted to actually make a change after it was the guy put it in the computer. I've done this numerous times where you bet you say the wrong number. You go up there thinking you want 352 and you say 452 or 357, whatever, because you look up at the last minute and you're rushed. There's a long line of people and you're in a hurry to get your bet down. But it's your responsibility as a bettor to look at your ticket to make sure it's correct. And if we make a mistake as a sports bettor and we go up to the window after the fact and say, hey, Mr. Sportsbook Director, I really meant to bet the Browns, but I accidentally bet the Jets. Or I said the Browns, but your guy put in the Jets. Whatever the case may be, that sportsbook director is going to say, so sorry, Charlie. Tickets go as written. So in this case, the FanDuel Sportsbook at the Meadowlands track said, we made this an error. We don't have to pay you, and we're not going to pay you. Whereas most sports books here in Vegas would have already paid the guy knowing that they're going to lose. Anytime that there's a big error like that, the casinos here in Vegas automatically are going to call the game control board and turn it over to the control board to see if they have to pay. But a lot of the books, like the Westgate, won't necessarily send it to the control board. They're just going to pay it because they know they're going to have to pay it. Tickets go as written. And Paddy Poker, who is the owner of FanDuel over in, the UK, they have been known to pay out for their heirs multiple times. But as you guys know, and this has happened to me because I actually have a 5 Dimes account. I have many betting accounts, both here in Vegas, offshore, everywhere. Because I'm not always in Las Vegas. I do a ton of traveling. So I have to be able to be prepared to bet, in multiple places. Sorry, reading the comments. And I've had it where I've bet in-game wagering on 5 Dimes, and they've canceled my bet after it's been a winner by saying it was an error. Or they leave the line up too long, and you bet it, and then while the game's already going, you try and take advantage of a line. If that happens in a Nevada sportsbook, they're going to pay you. 100% they're going to pay you because it's their mistake. And they'll pay you same day. And 5 Dimes, to me, multiple times has refused to pay, and they'll say, nope, it was our mistake, and we reserve, tickets are canceled when we make a mistake. But if we lose, they're going to take our money anyways. So, FanDuel Sportsbook said, nope, we're not paying you. And, however, they reversed their course today after this guy lawyered up, knowing that they're going to lose anyways, in my opinion. It was before this. But FanDuel fessed up. They paid the guy the full amount today, $82,000 and change. However, generally what happens is they will tell you here in Vegas, if the Westgate was to do this, or the Aria, or William Hill, okay, we're going to pay you, sir, your $82,000, but you're going to be blacklisted from betting in our casino again. You're going to give me $82,000 and you're going to tell me I can't bet in this casino again, but I can go to the one right next door. Take it every time. Now, part of me wants to think that this guy took advantage of the situation. Maybe it was an inside job. Maybe he had a friend send him a text message. All right, use a burner account. I'm going to go at the end of the game. It's going to last 18 seconds. Stand by the window. Plus 750 to 1. Who knows what the case may be, what the error and the mistake may be. We will probably never know. But it's good to see FanDuel Sportsbook reverse their take on the situation and pay the guy, regardless if the guy did it on purpose or not. But that he bet $110 at plus 750 to 1 makes me think that he didn't really know what he was betting. He probably thought he was betting 110 to win 100, and it just so happens it was 110 to win over $82,000. So, congratulations to Mr. Anthony Prince. If you are watching this or you watch this archived, please do reach out to us. We'd love to hear your story. I'd love to hear how it all went down. I'd love to hear when you noticed that you had an $82,000 ticket. All right, so now that FanDuel paid him, let's move right on. BetterX is at it again. Somebody asked, has he lost the last couple weeks? Overall, he's a winning bettor at the William Hill books. Ed Bogdanovich confirmed that live on another program earlier in the week that Mr. BetterX, Mr. Duffelbag Boy, is a lifetime winner at their sportsbook, which is pretty impressive. I know him personally. He's a very sharp individual. Sorry, reading some comments here. Gary said, I had to bet with Bodog to go a year ago, $100. Bet on a 17 parlay to win 17,000. Took 6 months to get paid. Damn, Gary, but they actually paid you? You know, I've never heard anything good about Bodog. I've never heard anything good about Bodog over the years. Years ago, yes, but then they had their issues. And I haven't heard anything good since. But that's good to know that you got paid, even though it took 6 months. I bet it was a battle. How long did it take you to cash out? Good to know that the Jets are still covering the spread 0-0, but there's no scoring in that game. And Temple is leading 21-7. Is that at halftime, guys, or is that still going? It's at the half. Thank you, Hootie by Night. I do appreciate it. Guys, if you're not following me on Twitter, please do follow me on Twitter at CapNationKyle. It is rather sad. I have no followers on Twitter. I'm begging you. No, I'm just kidding. No, I post a lot of free stuff on Twitter. If you guys watch Sunday Night Football, I posted some free live wagering. I gave out the Steelers plus 14 live in-game wagering. And if you guys follow me on Twitter, you guys are going to see a lot of information and a lot of free stuff. A lot of free stuff that goes down on Twitter that you guys don't get to see here. Yes, Hootie by Night's there. He actually shares some of the stuff that I post and whatnot there. But guys, make sure you follow me on Twitter. Follow Cappers Direct at Twitter at Cappers Direct LV and myself at CapNationKyle. A lot of great information, a lot of great free plays that you guys won't find in our videos. How much time left and what quarter is that Jets game? All right, guys, we're going to jump. All right, guys, if you're looking to get your company notice, it doesn't matter if it's another sports service, an offshore sports book, maybe you're a marijuana company, alcohol company, maybe you got a local cleaners here in Las Vegas. It doesn't matter what it may be. We've got some big advertising opportunities for you. If you want to get major exposure for your company, just send us an email to cd@cappersdirect.com. And we will take care of you. All right, guys. Reading comments, reading some stuff that's going on. All right, some little updates going on. Tampa Bay is still leading 3-2. The Red Sox trying to clinch the division, leading 4-2. However, the Yankees got runners on first and second, bottom of the fourth. Gary Betterex is at it again. He has actually not made any wagers since I talked to him yet. But he will be in the casinos tomorrow. I will be talking to him tomorrow. I'm actually going to be having lunch with him tomorrow. I will see the tickets. I'm going to do my best to get copies of those tickets if he allows me to. to post them live on the show on Saturday morning. But guys, if you want to know what BetterX is betting this weekend, tune in live Saturday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. We will go over everything BetterX has in store for Saturday. All right, guys, it's going to be a great weekend coming up, so make sure you guys participate in our live show. Hootie by night, I have no idea. I will know tomorrow after I talk to him and after I see him. But he usually hammers college football, that's for sure. Absolutely, Brian. He's a lifetime winner at the William Hill Sportsbook, and it's only a matter of time before he cashes in. Oh boy, the comments. What's up with so-and-so talking shit, excuse my language, about you yesterday, saying you blowing up their YouTube. All right. I've heard this a few times today. We will address this very, very shortly because I really don't want to give these ding-dongs any time of day, or promotion on our show. But I've heard it from a few people already, clients, that so-and-so wants to say that I'm making fake accounts and posting on their YouTube. First of all, 100% false. I don't have that much time in the day, nor do I really give a shit about them. I wish them well. That's all I can say, about them. We've proven over and over and over again that these same ding-dongs were the ones that were posting comments. I posted it when they were stationed in Iraq, posting comments on our live show, like 54 comments under 7 or 8 different fake accounts. So the only one with fake accounts is these ding-dongs. As well as they sell their leads. There we go. Jets touchdown. That's what I like to hear. They sell your leads to a guy up in upstate New York named Joe. As well as sending your information now to Doc Sports. So I'm sure you're getting blown up by Doc. Well, Doc's son anyways, because Doc is dead. So, but anyways, no. I don't have that much time in the day. So, to anybody who's saying that, get a life. Start actually betting your own games. Grow a sack of balls and put some money on it. And actually show the betting world that you actually bet your own games. Not double-siding the games because you give out one side and your buddy in the room next to you, in your dorm room your barracks next to you is, giving the opposite side. Uh-oh, the Yankees got bases loaded with 2 outs, bottom of the 4th. Hopefully the Red Sox get out of that jam. Atlanta's tied 3-3. As Glenn just pointed out, Temple is up by 11 at the half, 21-10, 31 first half points. That over is looking pretty good. 31 first half points, and with a total of 53.5. We'll take it. We'll take 31 first half points. Gary, tell us how you really feel about them. I'd love to hear it. And in the NFL, our Jets are leading 7-0 to start off the second quarter with an Isaiah Crowell 7-yard TD run. All right, guys. Sam Darnold is 3 of 7 for just 22 yards. Tyrod Taylor is even worse, 1 of 7 with just 2 yards passing right now. Man, I wish I was watching that game. Any turnovers in that NFL game so far? As I'm looking, I see no turnovers. Just some sloppy play from what I can see. But let's jump right into college football. Week 4 of college football is here, guys, and I could not be more excited. The AP Top 10, let's run it down real quick. Number 1, Alabama. This week is got Texas A&M at home. Jay Murphy, good question. Who's getting upset this weekend? Who's getting upset this weekend? Whew. Possibly Stanford. Possibly Notre Dame. We'll put those two on upset alert early. But number 1, Alabama at home against a 22nd ranked Texas A&M team. Alabama is laying 26 on the road. Number 2, Georgia is facing off against Missouri in Missouri. Georgia's laying 2 touchdowns. I look forward to seeing just how good Missouri is and just how good Georgia is, and see if they can hang on the road as well. Number 3, Clemson is facing off against Georgia Tech in Georgia. Clemson is laying just over 2 touchdowns with a line of -15. Number 4, Ohio State has Tulane at home, laying 37 points at home. Oklahoma is heading to face Army. The number 5 team, Oklahoma, is laying 31 points on the road against Army. Number 6, LSU has Louisiana Tech at home. LSU is laying just under 3 touchdowns at -20.5. Number 7, Stanford on the road against number 20, Oregon. Stanford is laying 2 on the road. Number 8, Notre Dame visiting Wake Forest. Notre Dame struggling in their first 3 games. Yes, they are 3-0. However, they have won all 3 games by less than 8 points. Notre Dame is laying a touchdown on the road against Wake Forest. Number 9, Auburn has Arkansas at home. Auburn is laying 30 at home. And then number 10, there's a tie for 10. The first team in 10th, Penn State, heading on the road against Illinois, laying 27.5, just under 4 touchdowns. And then number 10, Washington, has Arizona State at home after they just took a road loss to San Diego State last week, a very close game. Washington laying 17.5 points on the road. I look forward to watching some very, very, very key games this week. Number 2, Georgia versus Missouri. Kansas State versus number 12, West Virginia. Obviously, everybody knows I'm a big West Virginia fan. Actually, not really a West Virginia fan, but this year I gave them out to win to win the Big 12 at plus 1,200. And hopefully they keep doing what they're doing and trending upwards. And I look forward to seeing West Virginia progress throughout the year. They are ranked 12th already. The third game that I look forward to watching, number 17, TCU against Texas. Guys, the odds makers, the public, is giving Texas absolutely no love. All right, I've already talked to a few sharps who plan on betting Texas, and the sharps are going to be giving Texas quite a bit of love this Saturday. And maybe you should tune in Saturday morning to find out why. Saturday morning, Cappers Nation Live. You'll want to tune in while we break down that Texas and TCU game. 17th ranked TCU is getting all the props in that game. And Texas, after dismantling my USC Trojans last week, no love. No love. And then the fourth game that I look forward to watching is Texas Tech versus number 15, Oklahoma State. And then to wrap up College Game Day Saturday, I look forward to watching number 7 Stanford face off against number 20 Oregon. That game, let's just put Stanford on upset alert already. Now, Brian just asked, what's the biggest spread you wager a favorite? College football's a lot different than the NFL for wagering a favorite. I bet some favorites in college football, -38. I think I bet a -41 once. Oh, God, who was it? I think it was Alabama a couple years ago. I forget who they were playing, but I've wagered -41, ridiculously large spreads, but I personally don't really like it. Like betting the big spreads, but we will see, throughout the year what I do with the big spreads. But for Brian, to answer your question, I really, or actually you don't like, you didn't ask it, but I have bet big spreads, but I don't like to. I don't like to. Anything more than 4 or 5 touchdowns is a huge, huge spread. And in a game where college kids are playing, anything can happen. All right, let's start breaking down some games. How about tomorrow night, Friday? Revenge game. Washington State heads to the LA Memorial Coliseum to face off against my USC Trojans. I promise you, the lean I give you on this game is not based on USC being my favorite college. All right, that I promise. All right, sorry, I got to get a little score update here. The Jets got the ball leading 7-0. Sam Darnold is just 3 of 8. Still halftime in the Temple game, and in Major League Baseball, holy sheets, the Yankees take the lead after a Stanton grand slam. His 35th home run of the year. Glenn, that is not what I want to see. The Yankees leading 6-4. Barf. Big pit in my stomach right now. Tampa Bay, runners on first and third, no outs, top of the 7th, lead 3-2. And that big premium play, we should we could definitely use a few extra runs for insurance. Looking down, Detroit and Kansas City is now 9-7. End of the 5th. End of the 4th in the Atlanta game, they're tied up 3-3. And if you're tuning in late, our Oakland A's, as a consensus play, beat the LA Angels 21-3. The Oakland was actually our free play on Wednesday night, and we rolled with them again today. Yes, Glenn, we definitely need Tampa Bay, and a base hit here would really be nice to knock in some more runs. But let's get back to the college football breakdown of the Washington State facing off against my USC Trojans in LA. 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 7:30 here on the West Coast. Game will be televised on ESPN. Game 309 and 310 for betting purposes. A line opened up with USC being a 4.5 point favorite. As of just starting to film this, they were still sitting at 4.5 points favoring. Total opened up at 52 and is currently down to 51. Washington State 3-0 straight up, 3-0 against the spread. Definitely surprising sharps, definitely surprising bettors after there wasn't much positive outlook for Washington State this year with their top-level quarterback going to the NFL this last year. USC sits 1-2 straight up, 0-3 against the spread. And wait till you hear some of these statistics, and we're actually going against the statistics here, all right? Washington State is just 26-9 against the spread, dating back to the year 2000 against weak rushing defenses yielding more than 5 yards per carry. USC is just 2-7 against the spread their last 3 years in September. USC is 12-1 on the under their last 15 games against non-ranked teams. Head-to-head trends. Under the total is 4-0 in the last 4 games between USC and Washington State. All right? The last 4 games have gone under. Last year, there was a total of 59. Washington State upset USC 30-27 in Washington. The year prior that they played was much farther back in 2014, where USC absolutely smashed Washington State 44-17 on the road. And 2014 USC was a much different team than we find this year. Revenge game alert for tomorrow. USC got beat last year. The players still on the team. The coach, they feel it. They know it. And they had a nasty loss last week against Texas. And after opening up a 14-3 lead to start the game, then they just fell flat. All right? The Trojans came out and just lit the world on fire to start the game, had a 14-3 lead, and then it was like a whole different team showed up. The team that we saw in the first quarter, they left. And the team we saw against Stanford showed up in the second quarter, third, and the fourth. And obviously USC ended up losing that game against Texas last week. Washington State beat USC last year in Washington 30-27 as a 4.5-point home team dog. All right, the game went under the total of 59. 4-1 in the under their last 5 meetings. All right, road teams have won 4 of the last 5 meetings as well. USC head coach Clay Helton. We're going to call him the Bubble Boy. He is on the chopping block to probably be the first coach in college football to lose their job this year. Just 28-12 overall record. USC is 14-3 against the spread their last 17 games under Coach Clay Helton, and they're 0-3 against the spread this season. All right. Washington State took care of Eastern Washington last week, winning 59-24. But what's more impressive is considering that Eastern Washington was leading all of the FBS with 623 yards per game on offense. USC, let's look at some stats for USC and Washington State. USC is averaging 274 yards per game passing, as well as 109 yards on the ground. Washington State averaging much more in the air at 420 yards per game and just 80 on the ground. The USC defense has been holding teams to just 171 yards per game in the air, but giving up over 209 yards a game on the ground. Luckily for them, tomorrow night, Washington is only averaging 80 yards a game rushing. Okay, Washington State defense has been giving up 133 yards per game in the air and 96 on the ground. All right, guys. Now, free lean for tomorrow. Not an official free play as of yet, but a lean on USC minus 4.5. I have to see where that line goes tomorrow to make sure I bet it. If it goes any higher than that, I'm not sure I bet it. Although I do think USC, after suffering 2 big losses to both Stanford and Texas, they're going to come back at home at the Memorial Coliseum and make a huge statement tomorrow night. No doubt about it. Coach Clay Helton wants to keep his job. He is hell of a recruiter, and I do look for USC to make a statement win after 2 consecutive losses and not covering the spread. I do believe USC covers the spread. Personally, I think just by looking down and breaking the game down myself earlier this week, I see USC as a 2-touchdown winner. And as everybody just said, touchdown Jets, 14-0. Sorry, I didn't mean to clap in everybody's ear. But as you can tell, I have a huge bet on that game, and I could not be more excited. Oh, my God. Tampa Bay breaks open the lead. 5-2 with runners on first and third still, and only 1 out, top of the 7th. So hopefully Tampa Bay holds strong. And in better news, the Boston Red Sox have runners on first and third with no outs. They are down 6-4 after giving up a grand slam to Mr. Stanton of the Yankees. And hopefully these games all turn around, and the ones that are winning keep winning. But here's the better question. Nope, Sam Darnold did not get a passing touchdown just yet. Isaiah Crowell with a second touchdown run. Yes, Brian, USC is at home at the Memorial Coliseum tomorrow night. They're going to have, 95,000 fans in that stadium. They packed that stadium so full at the Coliseum. If you've never been to a game at the Memorial Coliseum, before they ever rebuild it, tear it down, whatever they decide to do with that sucker in the future, you have to go. The atmosphere, the history, the prestige, the sound of being in the Coliseum. USC has that home team, the home field advantage 100% whenever they play in the Coliseum. Hell, even when they go to the Rose Bowl, they still have a home field advantage. Absolutely, Nathaniel Tyrod is absolute trash. I've said it all week. I said it last week. I don't know why everybody was giving Tyrod Taylor and the Browns so much credit this week. All right? I can go over here. Here's some a consensus report for Pro Football. Matt Yeomans gave the Browns a win today. The bettors rating has the Browns to win today. Let's see who else. I mean, I can go on and on. Jonathan Van Tobel's got the Browns to win. One of his best bets of the week has got the Browns to cover the 3 games. Everybody, and absolutely everybody. Josh Towers at VSIN has the Browns as one of his best bets of the week. Everybody has been riding the Browns this week. I got news for you. Yeah. They hung tough with the Saints. They hung tough the first week against the Steelers. They are still trash. Now, just because they got rid of Josh Gordon is not going to help define who they are. When you get rid of arguably one of the best receivers in all of the NFL, for whatever reason it may be, you're still going to be trash. Now, we have seen before the Browns do make a comeback. This game is very early and anything can happen in pro football. But the Jets may lose the game. They may not cover the spread. But in my personal opinion, and as the company at Cappers Direct, we gave out the Jets and the over that game. So I do like to see it 14-0. Preferably, I'd like to see it 28-0 before the half. At least 21-0. I can see a big Jets defensive play coming up. So hopefully they hold strong. And yes, Nathaniel, Josh Gordon heading to New England. He makes the Patriots a heavy favorite again. I'm not sure, what his role is going to be there. It's too early to tell. I'll be honest. I actually have him on my fantasy football team. I only play in one league. It's a $1,000 buy-in. And $100 per move. It's a big money game or big money league. I actually have Josh Gordon in my league. But I also have Edelman, who's serving a 4-game suspension. But when they get Edelman back and they got Gordon, he's a sharp receiver. He is a sharp individual. It'll take him a week or two to pick up the plays and to get into rhythm with Tom Brady. But watch out. The Patriots receiving core is getting healthy. He is the Patriots, their receiving core is getting healthy. Wait until week 5. Absolutely, as Gary just said, come on, Boston. Boston is one of our plays today. They knocked in 1. It's 5-6. Boston down by 1. Nobody on, 2 outs. We could take a Bo Garrett's home run here. Did somebody just say Baker Mayfield is in the game? Because the last update that I got says Tyrod Taylor passed to the left. Somebody just posted in the comments. JSN just posted in the comments that Baker Mayfield is in, but I haven't seen any. I don't know why JSN posted that Baker Mayfield is in. I didn't think so because the updates that I see is Tyrod Taylor keeps throwing incomplete passes. So fine by me. Tyrod Taylor has completed 2 of 10 passes. Gary, you got which game over? The Jets and Browns game over? All right, jumping into our second game that we're going to break down. Clemson versus Georgia Tech. Bobby Dodd Stadium at Grant Field, Atlanta, Georgia. 3:30 Eastern Time on Saturday. Be aired live on ABC. Game 337 and 338. Clemson favored by 15.5 points. That line still sits at 15.5. Total opened up at 51. It's sitting at 51.5. It's gone up a half a point right now. I got you, Gary. I wish you the best of luck on... Oh, you already won that bet. But we all need Boston. Clemson is 3-0 straight up. 0-3 against the spread to start the year. They are not a good team to bet on as of yet. All right, Georgia Tech is 1-2 straight up. And as well, 0-3 against the spread. Some top team trends between Clemson and Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech is 21-12-2 against the spread. Their last 35 games as an underdog of more than 7 points. Clemson is just 2-4-1 against the spread. Their last 7 games against high-scoring teams averaging 32 points per game or more. Clemson is 8-0 on the under against decent passing defenses, yielding less than 6.5 yards per attempt. Head-to-head trends between Clemson and Georgia Tech. Home teams are 7-1 straight up, 6-1 against the spread in the last 8 games between Clemson and Georgia Tech. All right, guys, these two teams faced off last year, end of October, in Clemson, with Clemson winning 24-10. That was a push. Line on that game had Clemson favored by 14. Clemson gets to face the triple option for a second week in a row after beating Georgia Southern and their triple threat option last week, 38-7. They're already primed. They're already prepared for the triple threat, and they don't have to change any of their drills up. All right. Normally, when a team's got a triple threat option team on the schedule the week before, they've got some special drills and planning they have to do for the triple threat. They just had the triple threat last week, and they're very, very well prepared for it. They struggled early last week. Clemson struggled early last week against Georgia Southern, but they came out that second half, and they put the gas to the pedal, and they did not cover the spread, but they won 38-7. All right? Clemson held Georgia Southern to just 83 yards of rushing last week on 43 rush attempts. Yes, 43 rush attempts and just 83 yards on the ground for Georgia Southern. And they only allowed 7 first downs. Clemson's got Syracuse next week in Death Valley, and it's going to be an undefeated matchup between the ACC. One thing that can definitely get Clemson in trouble is looking ahead to next week. Now, taking a look at Clemson and Georgia Tech, Clemson's offense is averaging 287 yards in the air, 226 on the ground. Georgia Tech is averaging 118 yards passing per game and absolutely rushing the ball at 393 yards over their first 3 games on average on the ground. Clemson defense just averaging 179 yards, giving up 179 yards in the air and only 89 yards on the ground. So I look forward to seeing how Georgia Tech is able to if they're able to rush against the Clemson defense. Georgia Tech is allowing 156 yards in the air and only 146 on the ground as well. Free lean on this game. I do believe that Clemson goes into Georgia Tech better prepared for the triple threat, and that gas will be on the pedal the entire game. Free lean on that game, Clemson minus 15.5. You want to know more in depth about that game, tune in live Saturday morning. Also, tune in live Saturday morning where we discuss Notre Dame and Wake Forest when we break down that game and tell you the reason why I have Notre Dame on upset alert. All right, guys. Nathaniel, your phone is dying and so is my voice. We don't have much longer. We've got about a half hour to go. Also, tune in live Saturday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern, where we break down number 7, Stanford, against number 20, Oregon, and find out why we also have Stanford on upset alert. I will have a free play on that game on Saturday as well. Guys, on Saturday morning and Sunday morning, we're going to have a ton of free stuff for you guys. Free games, leans, you name it. We're going to have it. All right, guys, we're going to jump right into the NFL, but first, enjoy this quick 30-second break. We are back in the NFL, where we're going to be breaking down a couple NFL games for you guys, and we will make you a more. Whoa!
With do you need to make another bet?
All right, we are back. And I'm not sure how we started playing that video. I'm not sure what the hell happened. But we are back, and hopefully you guys all can hear me. And I absolutely love to hear that Tampa Bay is leading 8-2 going into the bottom of the 7th. Absolutely love to hear that. Tampa Bay is one of our big premium plays. It was actually our first big premium play of the day for all of our premium play members. All right, guys, let's jump right into the NFL. Indianapolis Colts facing off against the Philadelphia Eagles. The betting public absolutely loves the Eagles, and I'm going to tell you why I don't. So stick around, guys, because we're jumping right into it. Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern, 9. One of the first games in the morning, game 461 and 462. Colts versus the Eagles. Line on the game's got Philadelphia favored by a touchdown. Opened up as a touchdown favorite. That line is down a half a point to 6.5. And guys, we're going to see some line movement. That line is going to go back up to 7, maybe even higher. All right, guys? Now, and I'm going to break that down on the reason why, okay? The over and under opened up at 48. It is currently sitting at 47.5. The Colts are 1-1 straight up, 1-1 against the spread. The Eagles, exact same. 1-1 straight up and 1-1 against the spread. Top team trends. The Colts are 19-8-1 against the spread dating back to the year 2000 on the road against stout rushing defenses yielding less than 3.6 yards per carry. Philadelphia is just 1-6 against the spread their last 7 games after they play Tampa Bay. Philadelphia is 7-0 their last 7 games versus the AFC South. Head-to-head. Head-to-head is over the total is 6-0 the last 6 games in this matchup. The last 6 times the Colts and the Eagles have faced each other, that game has gone over 6 times straight. All right? Now, they haven't played each other since 2014, so be careful. We need Atlanta as well, so we're all rooting for Atlanta. We're all rooting for the Braves, the Red Sox, because we all hate the Yankees. And Tampa Bay, baby, Tampa Bay. All right, before we get into the more information, let's see on that NFL game. 3 minutes left in the second. Jets are winning 14-0. And I do believe somebody updated. Yep, Temple is winning 28-10 with 11:07 left to go in the third. Let's keep those points going. Absolutely, Russ. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Carson Wentz is back. He changes not only the dynamics, but the look of the Philadelphia Eagles this week. The road team has won the last 4 out of 5 meetings. Take note, the road team has won the last 4 out of 5 meetings between these two teams. All right, guys? As the defending champs got completely shredded through the air last week by Ryan Fitzpatrick and the Buccaneers, a strong pass rush is going to be very crucial for the Eagles in their Week 3 matchup against Andrew Luck and the Colts. Jay Oakland's got to get a win sooner or later. Now, like I was saying, the Eagles need to have a strong pass rush if they don't want to get shredded by Andrew Luck, just like they did Ryan Fitzpatrick last week. The Colts their offensive line is very suspect, all right? And this presents a very good opportunity for the Eagles' stacked defensive line to have an absolute field day against Andrew Luck and put him on his rear. If the Colts' offensive line can keep Andrew Luck on his feet long enough and protect him, the fans and bettors like myself, we could be in store for a shootout come Sunday. Yes, the return of Carson Wentz is sure to add some questions. All right, the Eagles are a much different team with Carson Wentz under center. No doubt about it, he is the better quarterback between him and Nick Foles. Jay Ajayi and the rest of the running backs for the Eagles, they're going to be very important to ensure Carson Wentz has a smooth transition back to game day speed. He hasn't played a game since last year. He's not up to speed. And if the Eagles can't establish the run, the Colts could keep Carson Wentz at bay and make it very tough for him to get into a nice rhythm. Now, the Colts are averaging 22 points per game. The Eagles are scoring 19.5 points per game. The Colts are allowing 21.5 points per game, while the Eagles are still only allowing 19.5. The Colts offense is averaging 241 yards in the air and only 89 on the ground. The Eagles offense is averaging 220 in the air under Nick Foles. I think that will change this next week. Rushing, they're averaging 102 yards per game. The Colts defense is allowing 249 yards per game in the air, as well as only 83 yards on the ground. So I look to see the Colts be able to keep Jay Ajayi and the rest of the running backs for the Eagles at bay. The Eagles defense getting shredded in the air, allowing on average 309 yards of offense in the air so far over 3 games. However, they've stopped the rush by just allowing 58 yards. All right, guys. I look to see this line go back up to 7 or higher. The public is going to be hammering the Eagles, no doubt about it. Everybody on the East Coast, the bandwagon fans that, were never Eagles fans, they won the Super Bowl, and now they're fans. The Eagles are, a favorite of bettors the last year. I look for the general public and the general population to push that line higher. When they push that line higher, I look to make a nice wager on the Colts +7. Free lean if that line goes to 7. I mean, I like the Colts anyways against the Eagles. I like the matchup. I like that Carson Wentz is not up to game speed. If this game was played in week 5 or 6 or 7 or later in the season, you may have a different opinion coming out of my mouth. But taking place this week, this Sunday, I like the Colts as a nice lean. I will have a nice free play for everybody on this game come Sunday as well. All right, we got a couple more to break down. NFL Sunday, and remember, guys, tune in live Sunday, 9 a.m. Eastern, where we will be breaking down all things sports betting in the NFL only, and we're going to go over many, many, many games, including many free plays and many leans. All right, guys, 1 p.m. Eastern, televised on Fox. Game 467 and 468 for betting purposes. New Orleans Saints face off against the Atlanta Falcons, Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta opened up as a 3.5-point favorite. That line is now down to 3. They are just a field goal favorite. Total over and under 53.5 is where it opened. It is down 0.5 point to 53 currently, all over Vegas. The Saints are 1-1 straight up and 0-2 against the spread. If you've bet against the spread on the Saints the last 2 weeks, you are down and down big. All right, the Falcons are 1-1 straight up and 1-1 against the spread. Top team trends between the Saints and the Falcons. The Saints are 12-4-2 against the spread their last 5 years against opponents after a conference straight-up win. Atlanta is just 1-9 against the spread their last 10 games at home against weak defensive teams, allowing more than 24.5 points per game. New Orleans is 8-1 on the under their last 9 games before playing the New York Giants. Now, head-to-head trends. Under the total is 8-2 in their last 10 meetings between the Saints and the Falcons. 8-2 on the under in their last 10 meetings. Take that trend and let me know what you think about it. Now, they did meet twice. Sorry, they met once last year. End of the season. Nope, I'm sorry. I take that back. They met twice last year, both in December. Both games were won by the home team. Their last meeting was in New Orleans. New Orleans won 23-10. Earlier in the month of December last year, Atlanta beat New Orleans in Atlanta 20-17. The Falcons had a nice bounce-back win last week, beating the Panthers in Atlanta 31-24. However, they still have not solved the problem of getting the ball in Julio Jones' hands. If you've got Julio Jones on your fantasy team, I'm sorry. You just haven't had any production. Hopefully, they're able to fix that this week and get the ball to Julio Jones. Uh-oh. I did see an update on Twitter by Rich Simmons that Tyrod Taylor is in the injury tent. Will we see Baker Mayfield? Well, Daniel just said we need more points. Well, I guess you should suit up and get in the game. Baker Mayfield goes in, you're going to see more points. How about that? Temple leading 28-10, driving the ball at the Tulsa 34 with a 1st and 10. All right, guys, back to the Saints versus the Falcons. Sean Payton's squad is just 10-5 as a regular season underdog the past 2 years, and the Saints stayed under the total with the Falcons in both meetings last year. The under is 8-1 in Atlanta games since last year. Dating back to last year, Atlanta's 8-1 on the under in all their games. Crazy things have happened before between these two teams. And it is also the NFL. You have two professional teams playing. Anything can happen. It is easy to assume that Matt Ryan and Drew Brees could end up in a shootout. I mean, it could be a 35-28 final. Could be a 28-24 final. My opinion, and my opinion only, I look for both defenses in a major run attack by both teams to slow the game down and definitely slow scoring. The Saints, however, are averaging 30.5 points per game scored, while allowing 33 themselves. The Falcons are averaging 21.5 points per game while giving up only 21. The Saints offense is averaging 322 yards in the air with Drew Brees, while only averaging 52 yards a game on the ground. Both their games have been shootouts, and they've been forced to throw the ball. The Falcons' offense is averaging 248 yards in the air and 122 on the ground. The Saints' defense has given up an average of 325 yards in the air, as well as 102 on the ground. As everybody's pointed out, Baker Mayfield is in the game. Hopefully, he scores a few points or a few touchdowns, but the Jets score more. The Falcons' defense is allowing 218 yards in the air per game, as well as allowing 117 yards on average on the ground. Free lean on this game. If you ask me right now, I'm taking the under the total points. Under 53 as a free lean. You want to know more facts? Tune in live Sunday morning. All right, the next game we're going to break down. The Green Bay Packers versus the Washington Redskins. FedEx Field, Landover, Maryland. Game 475 and 476. Green Bay favored by 2.5 when the line opened. They're now favored by a field goal. Line has gone up a half a point in all of Vegas. They are now -3. Total opened up at 47.5. It is now down 2 points to 45.5. Temple in the red zone. Temple alert in the red zone. All right, guys. The Packers are 1-0-1. Straight up and 1-1 against the spread. The Redskins are 1-1 straight up and 1-1 against the spread. Green Bay, top team trends. Green Bay is 6-1 against the spread. Their last 7 games on the road against opponents before their bye week. The Redskins are 9-19-4, dating back until the season 2000 at home in September. Green Bay is 14-1 on the over on the road when they play on Sundays. Head-to-head trends, Green Bay is 6-2 straight up and 5-2 against the spread their last 8 games against Washington. Green Bay has owned Washington straight up and against the spread in their last 8 meetings. Man, everybody's going to go nuts if Baker Mayfield gets a touchdown on the first drive. But it looks like they're not with a 4th and 2. Maybe they go for it. Oh, nope. They kick a field goal 14-3. We get some more points with 23 seconds left on the clock. Unfortunately, unless the Jets get a big run back, which they're probably not going to with the new kickoff rules, they're probably going to go out there and just down the ball and go into the halftime with a 14-3 lead. All right, back to the Packers and the Redskins. The over is 3-0 in the last 3 games that they've met. The over is 3-0 in the last 3 meetings. The home team has won 2 of the last 3. The favorite has won 2 of the last 3. Last time they faced off, 2 years ago in 2016, they faced off once. 2015 season, they played January 2016 in the playoffs. All right, last time they played, the Redskins did beat the Packers in 2016, 42-24. Aaron Rodgers is listed as day-to-day with a knee injury. He said it's probably going to progress and get worse throughout the season. He did not practice today, all right? Aaron Rodgers did not practice today. However, from what I was told, he is not going to miss the game. Brian, nothing on the CFL today, but I will add it into the show for you Canadians next week. It's just too much to talk about this week, and we're already nearing the 2-hour mark. But I will make a note to put something in there for the CFL for this week. But if you guys want a nice little free play on Canadian football for Saturday, I personally myself I like the under in the Edmonton the Edmonton Ottawa game on Saturday afternoon my time, 1 o'clock. I do like the under. I think it's 54 and a half. I do like the under in that Canadian Football League game. But back to the Packers and the Redskins. I do believe Aaron Rodgers will be playing. He did not practice today, but he will be playing the game. Washington's offense has not been, they haven't been bad with Alex Smith at quarterback. They're averaging 258 yards in the air and 123 yards on the ground so far this season. The Redskins, 6 straight unders since the end of last season. Now, Glenn, that is the update I want to see. The Boston Red Sox just tied the game 6-6. Let's go Red Sox, clinch that division in Yankee Stadium. That would be nice. 4th and goal for Temple from the Tulsa 7. And they miss a 24-yard field goal. We need 16 more points to push that total over. That would have been a nice 3 points. But either way, Temple still got an 18-point lead. And hopefully they hold on strong. I personally look to see Jay Gruden. He's going to have Alex Smith attack the Packers in the air, just as Kirk Cousins did last week. Kirk Cousins took full advantage of the Green Bay Packers in their comeback last week. All right. And I look for the same thing from Jay Gruden and Alex Smith this week. The Aaron Rodgers factor, if he's going to play or not, will definitely affect how I bet this game. All right. The Packers with Aaron Rodgers are averaging 26.5 points per game so far, while only allowing 26. The Redskins are only scoring 16.5 points per game, while their defense has only given up less than 2 touchdowns at 13.5 yards per game. The Packers' offense is averaging 277 yards in the air with Aaron Rodgers still hurt. All right, they're only averaging 83 yards on the ground. The Redskins' offense with Alex Smith at quarterback, which was a big pick-me-upper for the Redskins, is averaging 258 yards in the air and 123 yards on the ground so far this year. The Packers' defense has given up on average 283 yards in the air and 103 yards on the ground. The Packers' defense has been picked apart in the air. I look for that to happen again. But if Aaron Rodgers is in, no doubt about it, they hang tough. All right, guys? The Redskins' defense is giving up only 161 yards in the air and 86 on the ground. As far as a free lean or a free play, you have to wait until Sunday to see if Aaron Rodgers is playing. Any early betting, you're only speculating. If you're going to bet on Green Bay, that line is at -3 right now. That is a good line to bet if Aaron Rodgers plays. Callie Niner, welcome to the show, bud. It is a short stack today because the NFL is going on. Maybe we need to move our show to Wednesday nights. That way we get a better reception. But back to betting on the Packers. If you're going to bet it now, and it comes out, and you bet the Packers now, and it comes out that he's not playing, be prepared to bet the opposite way to cover. Not sure what just happened with the feed. All right. You guys still there? Is everybody watching? Everything good? I don't know what happened, but it just said my feed ended. Okay, we're still here. But anyways, if you're betting on, right now you bet on Green Bay. I think -3 is an absolute great line. But if it comes out Sunday morning, last minute, that Aaron Rodgers isn't playing, be prepared to bet the other way and the under. All right, guys? That's my advice. We will break down this game more in depth Sunday night. Sorry, not Sunday night. Sunday morning. And find out if Aaron Rodgers is playing. However, I do believe he will be playing. All right, I do believe he will be playing. Now, remember, guys, if you're not betting our system plays, I encourage you. The season is ending. Our system plays are winding down. However, they are 72-3. 72-3 on our system plays. We are running a special this weekend, where you can get our system plays for one full week for $199. Every one of our system plays for $199. That special will be on the website later tonight. You can take advantage of it if you're not already betting them. All right? Tampa Bay, not only was it a premium play, but it was a system play. So that is going, we double dipped. I double dipped. Our clients that are betting both all double dipped. So when that game closes out and wins, we will now be 73-3. All right? We've got the Red Sox on there. If the Red Sox win, we add one to the win column. If they lose, we're going to notch our 4th loss on the season. But I got faith in the Red Sox. They're going to pull out another win and keep us victorious. All right? So hopefully they keep our win streak alive, which is at 22 straight wins. If you guys want to, and I said this earlier, if you buy 1 month of our system plays for $749, I will give you the rest of the system plays all the way through the playoffs and the World Series absolutely free. All right, guys? And if you've never been with us before, our new client special, you get 1 full week of our premium plays, 1 full week of our system plays. Normally $1,000 a week for our premium plays, $600 a week for our system plays. You're going to get both packages for just $299. The only way to get the new client special is you have to call in. All right, guys? So, with that being said, we are on our 2-hour mark. Thank you for everybody that tuned in. I know it is a busy night. Thursday night football, you got to love it. The Yankees and the Red Sox still tied 6-6, but the Red Sox got a runner on first with 1 out. The Nationals are tied 4-4 with the Mets. The Tampa Bay Rays are winning bottom of the 9th, 8-2. The Tigers are beating the Royals 11-7. And the Braves enter the bottom of the 7th, tied 3-3. And they're now in the 7th inning stretch. In other news, Temple has the ball back, and they're driving the ball. Sorry. They just got the ball back on a punt. 1st and 10 from their own 35, leading 28-10, 31 seconds left in the 3rd. The New York Jets, Cleveland Browns tied 14-3. They're tied. What am I talking about? New York Jets, Cleveland Browns, halftime, 14-3. Our Jets are winning. We gave out the Jets and the over, so Jets. Hopefully the Jets come out, score a couple more touchdowns, and Baker Mayfield puts a couple in the air as well. And I'm hoping for a 35-17 final, 35-21. Probably won't happen, but we're going to hold strong. All right, guys, I'm going to go and watch the end of these games. We're going to break down the rest of what we've got going for tomorrow. Guys, stick around. We're going to, later on tonight, we'll post tomorrow's free play video with another college football winner for you guys. If you guys missed the free baseball play that I gave out for tomorrow, there is a free baseball play in this video. If you're watching the archive version, just scroll back in the Major League Baseball segment. There's a free baseball play in it. That's what I like to hear. The Red Sox, as Russ just said, runners on second and third with 1 out. Tie game 6-6. Bases loaded. 1 out. All we need is a walk, a single, a double, a sacrifice, fly, anything. Let's go. All right, guys. Now, thank you all for tuning in. We do need to thank our sponsors. Without our sponsors and our haters, this would not be possible. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Our next show will again air next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And remember, Saturday, Sunday live, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific will be going live, breaking down college football and the NFL on Sunday, making you a more successful sports bettor. All right, guys, I am Kyle. Thank you for tuning in. Talk to you guys soon.